And we're back for the game number 2 here in the best of 3 series, the G1 Gigabyte Challenge. Team Mushi is challenging 6 teams, 3 from the Philippines, 3 from Malaysia. But it doesn't really matter because all of them failed. If they would have won $500 on the hand, but it didn't really work out. Game number 2, that's the last chance for Regal to claim this money. But even with the game number 2 won, they have to go in a game number 3. And we are hoping for this, but judging by game number 1, Team Mushi very, very dominant, I have to say. So, yep, we're just hopping directly into the draft and see if game number 2 brings any changes to that.
Yep, I would hope we see some form of defense if we see another aggressive game coming out of Team Mushi. And Regal certainly can hold their own, but it's going to be a bit of an uphill battle at this rate.
Yep, it is. Well, Regal, the problem was, like, we said it in the draft, we analyzed it quite well, and we were on spot with what we said. They needed more time, a lot more time. And of course, Team Mushi was well aware of that. They were like, okay, like, let's go, guys. We have the sustain we need, fast arcanes, fast farm, like, with the floods, like, fast back coming out, even a pipe coming out then later just before they went high crown for the top racks. And our statsman also provided some nice healing stats. In fact, I think it was 4,700 for the Witch Dog and 4,500 or 4,400 for the Dazzle. So the fact is that there was more healing done for the Witch Dog than the Dazzle. And that's the funny part, because originally Dazzle, that's the healer, you know, it's like this label you put onto this hero. But the fact is that this Voodoo Restoration with the nice HP gain mana ratio it has, the healing is just insane. Plus he was like surfing on the same wave like KYXY in the same lane, and therefore they had no problem like getting the levels and everything, even though he was the one dying the most. But he always came back and he was always present at the fights and got the experience there. So he had a really fast Voodoo Restoration up. Maledict is getting, I don't know, 90% of all Witch Dog builds at the moment completely ignored. Even though I dislike it a bit because I still think Maledict is strong, but the problem is completely ignoring Voodoo Restoration is also not good.
Voodoo Restoration, as it stands, is a very strong skill. I mean, you yourself turned around and said, yes, it had more healing done than the Dazzle himself with the Shadow Wave, but Witch Doctor is seen once again in this game, this time combined with the Faceless Void for Team Regal, so it's changing teams' hands this time round.
Yep, absolutely. And finally, well, they decided to go for the Lycan Bun. I mean, that is something they probably learned from game number 1. And something they should also keep in mind, the Lycan is just too strong. Our statsman brought us the stats. They are way above 50% on both sides. It doesn't matter Radiant or Dire. Even the Dire side only has like, what, a 3 or 4%? I can't even remember. Advantage. It is just great. It's just great how the Lycan is performing. So it's definitely still worth a bun directly in the first bun stage. But yeah, Wraith King Lashrak coming out for Team Mushi. So we have to see in what position that Wraith King is playing. But I assume it's gonna be a core on the other side. That's something I absolutely like. Faceless Void, Witch Dog. I don't even need to talk about the synergy. Obviously, we have the Death Ward into the Chrono. Also, now the Witch Dog. We talked about Voodoo Restoration already. Now Team Regal can benefit from this. The only thing I'm worried about is we already saw one Void today going against Team Mushi. And his problem was, I think that was game 2, Mineski versus Team Mushi.
It was the same game with the Invoker. It just couldn't land the Chronos.
Yes, that was the biggest problem. Like Chrono, but usually you're like, yeah, cool, Chrono. But the problem is he managed to get like 1, maximum 2 people inside that Chrono because the Team Mushi did spread out all over the place and just waited till that Chrono comes out, and it was just not enough. Getting 1 target down is just not enough for a Void.
Well, going back to Team Mushi's lineup here, you say it depends what position this Wraith King is going to be in, but both you and me have cast games lately where we have seen Coreless Shraks, albeit these were Bulk and Bear Corleone games, but still, Coreless Shrak can work very well, get those early points up in Lightning Storm with a level advantage, and you get the gold, you build towards capacity in terms of health and mana, and then you just become a force in the team fights with Pulse Nova, as was the Lightning Storm.
Well, so the Pulse Nova ultimate is something where Lashrak needs a ton of mana pool. That's the biggest problem.
You need the capacity. You need the capacity to support it. But the main one here, though, is the Lightning Storm. The Lightning Storm is only a 4-second cooldown. 4-second cooldown, 260 damage, jumps 7 times.
Yeah.
Very strong spell, the Lightning Storm, and it's overlooked many times.
No, we have some that try to pick it up, but overall, Leshrac, I'm just not a big fan of that hero because it's, as I said, if a Leshrac is falling behind and not played in a farming role, then I mostly miss just to see his significance in the game, because I say there are other heroes that bring different utility spells into the game, different auras, or even other spells that are more useful, more bursty. But yeah, I guess I'm also a bit still stuck with the old Leshrac build we had, where Leshrac was pretty much just picked for the Edict. But either way, talking about push and Edict, we have the Leshrac, now we have the Nature's Prophet. That is the second time we have some push potential coming out by Team Mushi. And in the second ban stage, Invoker being banned out, so this time again no Invoker. The Visage being banned, even though I don't think the Visage had too much influence or impact on the last game. I mean, he was kind of lost because he got zoned out by the Witch Dog alone. And as soon as that happened, they lost the tier 1 tower, and from there on the entire top lane with the supposedly farming Klings dissolved into, I don't know, oblivion.
Indeed, and well, Regal here are opting for the Sand King as well. They're doing what Miniske did, investing a lot to synergize with the Chronosphere. Are we going to see those Chronospheres land, however? Now we've got the Naga there as well with more split push, as well as Song of the Siren to disrupt these team fights completely.
Naga Siren, that is actually an interesting pick, because it goes against all what we've seen about Mushi's drafts today, because everything was like, hey guys, we go for something that is very early, or something that can be early, and something that is also like, if it doesn't go too well in the early and mid game, we can still win late game with it. I mean, surely a Naga Siren, I assume it's a core. I mean, it has to be, unless we see something coming out in the 5th one that surprises me and it's a support Naga, but I pretty much doubt that. So Naga needs quite some time to come online, but then again it's also nice against the Faceless Void. Chronos coming out, Song on, and there's nothing you can do on the other side. BKBs have to be built against it, but the problem also with the BKB is that you can be singled out. BKB on and suddenly you find yourself surrounded by 5 heroes just bashing you, and that's a problem.
How I look at this one, though, with Team Mushi, you say this is most likely a core Naga. Right now, it could be a core Naga, it could be a core Wraith King, it could even be a core Shrek, but likelihood it's not. This last pick, considering it's not been banned yet, I'm actually looking for a Death Prophet. Because then you can put Nature's Prophet off lane, Death Prophet in the mid lane, Naga Siren, Wraith King, whoever's going to be farming up in the top lane with 2 roaming supports being either Leshrac, Wraith King, or Naga. They have a very flexible lineup in that respect, and I like this draft from Team Mushi just for its flexibility. And if Regal do not ban the Death Prophet here, I'm expecting it.
Yeah, absolutely, and well, it's quite interesting that the Death Prophet is so far ignored by both teams. It's still an option, in my opinion, for Team Regal to go for it. I mean, it would synergize as well with the Chronosphere, with the setups we have. So does the Epicenter. So I definitely like the draft a bit more at the moment by Regal. Like, they decide to ban a Rubik here for obvious reasons. We already said that, like, in an earlier game when we had the Void, that if you have a good Rubik, he steals that Chrono immediately and just puts the rest of the team that is supposed to do the damage inside the Chrono, then, yeah, in another blue bubble. And that's always bad news. That's really bad news. But well, they also ban out the Shadow Demon for obvious reasons, so defensive or defensive disruptions are not happening. And talking about Death Prophet, you got it.
That's 2 for 2, I think.
Yep.
Equally though for Regal, we've got a center offlane, we've got a farming Faceless Void. They're looking for a mid laner that can potentially deal with this lineup coming out of Team Mushi. And there's 2 heroes that come to mind. One is the Puck, which is more likely, and the other, to an extent, and I'll give my reasoning for it, is the Warlock. Now, I personally have a big favoritism towards the Warlock hero. It's one of my favorite heroes, and anyone that's watched my stream will know why. But we consider the synergy with the Warlock right here. Sand King can hold targets in position with the Burrow Strike, of course. The stunners are nice. Centaur's Stampede actually affects the Golems, for one. And 2, Golems are not affected by Song of the Siren. Yeah. And as a mid laner, it's very hard to stop a Warlock. But instead we're going to see another tanky mid hero, and it'll be a Dragon Knight instead.
But even that can be turned around. Like Song on, kill the golems, go for the rest of the team. That's also a bit of a problem. That's why I didn't see it coming. But it's a Dragon Knight coming out, so another tanky hero, ranged hero when the ultimate is on. Some tower push potential coming out with the Dragon Knight with the corrosive breath. But it's the only hero that actually has push potential into towers. So yeah, Regal again looking for team fight rather than pushing. On the other side, like Net is picking up that Naga Siren, so we have a support Naga. I was wrong, it's not the core. Mushi's picking up the Wraith King, and KYXY, we're gonna find him in the mid with the Death Prophet. Okay, that would be the option. That's why I said like they could still turn the draft, and the fifth pick is gonna decide what they go for. And yeah, I was right. The fifth one is completely turning what we expected. So Naga Siren in a support role, but that works just as well, I guess, with the Ensnare and the stun. And the follow-up stun, maybe with the Split Earth, that should give them about 6 seconds of disable, and that is too much for pretty much every hero, especially early game. So, I guess that's it. Our statsman saying hello, so shout out again also to the organization here, Sank Dev Stats on Twitter. You can follow them, like really awesome what they do today for us here, providing stats for these great games. And we will cooperate with them in the future. So this is not the last time, or not the first and not the last time you're gonna see those statsmen here on the HeflaTV streams. And I hope you enjoyed it so far. This is potentially the last game unless Regal really surprises us here with an amazing performance. And not that being said, we're gonna introduce them fast before they meet each other. We have boys here on the Witchdog, then CK playing the SK, and the DK is playing played by Signa. Fab is playing the Void this time here, just battling the Treant a bit at the moment, and already in the offlane, planting a ward, is Tamao Bakri on the center Warner.
On the flip side of that coin, for Team Mushi, we have Net on the support Naga Siren. We've got WTF on the Leshrac. We have KYXY on that Death Prophet. Over in the position of the Wraith King, we have Mushi himself. And finally, rounding out the team of Team Mushi, we have Ohio on that Nature's Prophet.
Yep, this is the first time we see Ohio playing a Nature's Prophet in this challenge here, the G1 challenge. I think. I haven't seen him. I can't remember a Furion played by Ohio. Like, he played so many things. Overall, they played so many heroes. It's crazy. The hero pool that Team Mushi is drafting from is just amazing, but... well, let's see. The creep waves are starting to come, and we're 20 seconds into the game. In the mid, it's gonna be interesting, because it's melee versus ranged, and KYXY, he won't make that life easy for the DK.
I should think so, yes. And, well, with the potential rotation coming in from Tamao here, this could be a kill on KYXY early, especially if Signa gets his level 2 and can get an early point into Dragon Tower. But without the extra stun, I don't see them being able to kill KYXY that easily. Then again, we do see the rotation away by Tamao. He's not going to hang around for too long. He wants to get some experience on this top lane. And he's up against a Nature's Prophet, so I would not be surprised to see a very early point in return here for the Centaur War Runner. But
yep, but look at the mid already. Just look at this. This is nuts. Like, KYXY doing such a good job. I mean, he's also boosted with stats. I mean, 3 branches and a nulls. Like, his right clicks alone, they really hurt him. Well, Ohio, like, he is, of course, going for some harass damage on the center Warner, but he has already 1 point in return. That means it's also bad news for the Treants, but he's still getting quite some damage in there, and also a bit unlucky Ohio in disrupting his own. But with boys coming around, but he pulls the next creep wave. That's a bad timing. Otherwise, they might have been successful. Problem is, not level 2 on the center Warner, so they didn't even have the stun if they wanted to go for it. So that was a bit too eager, I guess, for boys here.
Well, it shows they want to be aggressive at least, which means we could be looking for a very aggressive early game. But it's going to be rough no matter how we stand, considering the Nature's Prophet is going to be getting those levels, considering he's solo up here. In the tri-lane, they're going to be looking for kills, and they do have a lot of kill potential between Mushi, WTF, and I believe we had nearby Net. He's actually causing problems here in the jungle for the moment, and they're going towards that. However, I believe
such an effective
that will be dewarded. It's actually got a ward up on the high ground there, and the sentry will be just used to deward the other sentry. But
did you see how he did it? It's not like the fact that he is dewarding, it's the fact that he is just how he is. The last seconds, at 59 seconds, he put it just to have the full uptime on that sentry ward. It's pretty hilarious. But it got dewarded right away.
Well, unfortunately, that does now mean they know there's a sentry there, and that they're not going to be able to stop the potential for a jungle pull or However, the pull would be used here because I believe, at least in previous patches, if you pulled at the right time when you cut down a few trees, you could divert those creeps, but it's difficult nonetheless.
Yep, absolutely. And well, let's see. We have a smoke gang. This one is supposed to get the Nature's Prophet, and I guess that's also the best target.
Fap going on here by Mushi as well as WTF and Net, but he's going to just leap into the tree line. Are they going to stay around for this one though?
It seems like it, but he's eating through, maybe going even in the other direction. There's a new creep wave incoming, so that's bad news for him. I think they're gonna chase him, but at the same time we have maybe something top. No, they still want to chase Fap here, but he has no boots, and that is of course bad news. WTF, he's a tiny bit faster if I'm not mistaken. Yes, 15 movement speed for him. There he's slowed, buying some more time, and he waits till Net is coming in, but Net is not having the net.
He does, however, have Riptide, and with the slow coming in from WTF, they couldn't actually manage to kill it. They needed one more stun, but Mushi didn't have the mana, and WTF did not have the range on the Split Earth.
Yep, but Net, why are you not having Net? That's bad. But oh, look, top, there's the stun, and the follow-up stun should come
from Tamao, and now you've got CK coming in with the Burrow Strike as well, and that should be enough to clean him up, and it will certainly be first blood going the way of boys on that Witch Doctor. And we're seeing a slightly different build, deviating from the norm here on the Witch Doctor. We're actually seeing points in Maledict and Cask instead of Voodoo Restoration.
And I like it. I really like it. I mean, it's a lot less healing, obviously, but they're not going for this early aggression build anyway, so they might as well just have the Maledict for the ganks, and, well, that's cool.
Well, in the
oh,
meantime,
look at this. Mushi only played Wraith King once in his Pro Dota career.
Red Bull League in July 2013.
That's
wow.
a while back.
That was a while back, and I can honestly appreciate how Mushi's going to be playing this one. He's going to be aggressively farming, and just look at his supports. And now you've got KYXY coming in from the back, stun onto Fafab, as well as the lightning strike from the Leshrac. Going to force him to retreat over the tree line, but they could chase him if they really wanted to. But while that's happening, Mushi is just working on this tower.
Yeah, I mean, he got 1 point in the Vampiric Aura, now using it all, but top, the face... No, wait.
Back in the jungle, the Faceless Void was cleaned up by the Death Prophet there with one more Crypt Swarm.
Okay, I thought he actually got away, so I didn't pay attention to it. But yeah, the Crypt Swarm, just too fast, obviously. Oh, but there's a Sprout. Oh, no, it won't be enough for the Centaur. No, he still has one more Tango and of course Tranquil Boot, so he should be fast back. But yeah, talking about early aggression, that's how we know Team Mushi by now. The Edict coming out, this is only a level 1, but who needs more levels on this one? There's still 2 creeps left, and Mushi, last hit, he's missing it. What you doing, Mushi? Either way.
The tower still goes down, and we'll start to give some map control the way of Team Mushi at least. And there's no answer to it in the meantime of Regal. There is no push on any tower for Team Mushi at this point.
Yep. Absolutely, and well, let's see. We also have to see what KYXY is going for. It looks like another Witchcraft build here. It's not Exorcism, even though I think, in theory, if they wanted to, they can go again for early aggression. Like, for example, get the Exorcism with the next level, or level 7 that would be, and then go aggression in the mid, because who would stop this of Regal at the moment? Who would stop this? Well, we have 2 stuns, 3 stuns actually, if you count the Casket in, plus the Hoof Stun, plus the Burrow Strike, but they need more levels to be really effective.
Indeed, they do need the levels, but you were saying we could look for the Exorcism. Sure, no one could stop that Exorcism, but the Death Prophet could equally go for that Crypt Swarm build with the Witchcraft and just pick up the ultimate at level 9.
They want to Hyo. Top here.
In comes the TPs, though, from the entire side of Team Mushi. They're going to throw the Ensnare onto Tamao, and he's going to be caught under the tower. In the meantime, Burrow Strike comes through onto WTF, as well as the Stomp coming through from Tamao, and that will clean up the Leshrac. However, there is more reinforcements coming in. KYXY is here, so is Net, and they're going to bring down CK. But can they find boys, or can they find... No, I don't think they can.
I'm surprised that the DK didn't go across. I've tried to turn this around because he just popped his ultimate for that, and in the end he ends up not doing anything. Well, we can call this a 1-1 trade, occasion one, but at the same time Fafap and Mushi are farming both on a different lane. That's the funny part. Fafap is just going in the mid, Mushi is staying here, but of course Mushi is a bit ahead in experience for obvious reasons because Fafap died once. But, well, at least if he's catching up, it's about time. He finally managed to get his boots 7 minutes in. That's, I guess, not the fastest one.
Not the fastest, no, but you can see the rotation coming through from Regal now. They want to use this green Dragon Form to get some more damage on the tower, but the Dragon Form just timed out, so they're not going to be able to continue pushing this, at least not easily.
Yep.
And we consider there's WTF and KYXY defending this. That's a large amount of AoE damage. You consider that's 2 points up in to the Lightning Storm of the Leshrac, as well as 3 points into the Crypt Swarm as well as 4 points in Witchcraft. So they have the ability to force back the creep wave here and force back the heroes from Team Regal.
Yep, and their pushing power is just so much stronger. Like, while they were all doing that top, they get another tower. This time they don't miss the last hit on it. Ohio is getting it, and this is bad news because, like, wherever they go, like, Team Mushi is on the other side already, like, working on the objectives, and well, they're really trying hard to get something done. But Fab, he's gonna be level 6 now, so we have the first time a chrono. So let's see if we have something happening with the chrono. The problem is, like, a chrono doesn't mean a kill. Chrono just means, yeah, sure, you have a target and a funny bubble, but oh, top, that's a lot of damage.
They get a lot of damage onto Tamao, but I don't think he'll go down here. He survives the second Crypt Swarm, and he's just going to run back to base and regen at this point. At least, surely you hope.
Yep.
He might wait for the Tranquil Boots to kick in, but that's very ballsy considering the range on the Lightning Storm of the Leshrac is fairly large, and KYXY can just throw a Crypt Swarm.
Yep.
But now, mid lane, Mushi again.
Yeah, level 1 Sandstorm. Like, the Doodoo is just not strong enough with this Zen King yet to actually drive Mushi out. It barely made a scratch.
Honestly, I'm surprised partly that we didn't see CK looking for more in terms of the jungle. I mean, he can stack the hard camps, which is what they tried to block it for, and then look for just Sandstorm to wear down the towers, wear down the stacks even. But
yeah, but he missed his last stack even. Jesus.
Yeah, he missed his last stack, and now we're at 9 minutes in, and he's got nowhere close to a Blink Dagger, which is going to massively become a problem here for Team Regal. If they don't get their Blink Daggers online, they're going to have problems. No Blink Dagger on the Sand King, no Blink Dagger, or at least 800 gold away from a Blink Dagger on the Centaur War Runner. They need Blink Dagger initiation here.
Yep, absolutely. And the problem is Mushi is just avoiding fights at the moment, but maybe they're forced into something unless they want to give away their tier 1 tower. But at the moment we have a lot of Naga illusions saying hello with a Riptide. Yes, that's it. It's not too impressive, of course, damage-wise. It's just a level 2, but oh, what's the DK doing here? Maybe they want to go on the side.
Now we get the turnaround, and they're going to try to go for net. He's got the Mallet on him, but equally WTF will be the focus here of Signa on this DK. He does get the Dragon Talon, that will be enough to clean up one. But now can KYXY get the counter kill? Yes, he damn well can. One Crypt Swarm to clean up the Centaur War Runner. So a 1-for-1 trade. However, it's a support for a core in favour of Team Mushi at this point, and we might even see the attempt for more. They're going to turn around and go for net. Signa does have the potential here, but in comes the Exorcism from KYXY from behind. He's going to bring down boys immediately. Might go for Signa. So it's now a 2-for-2 supports, however, for a support and a core. And KYXY is fast. He's going to be able to chase down Signa, and he will be the focus here for the entire side of Team Mushi, considering we are seeing reinforcements come in from the river. We've got Ohio and Mushi. From the lane itself, WTF, and KYXY cleans this up with the triple kill.
Yeah, that bounce plus enough mana then for the next Crypt Swarm. So I think it was a bit strange because the center is TPing in the mid and he's trying to juke to the left. That was kind of strange, so they want to turn it around, maybe go for the tower, but this was also a very awkward fight in the initiation because the Witch Dog is like, hey, I'm gonna stun the Naga, Maledict on the Naga, let's go for her, but in the end then the DK decides to go for the Leshrac, and I think that was a tiny bit miscommunication.
Well, maybe they should have just killed the Leshrac and then fallen back instead of risking for pushing for more, because killing the Leshrac is all well and good, killing the Naga is about equal. They're both supports in this game.
Yep, and the tier 1 tower just fell in the mid. Like, there was nothing the DK can do, even with the level 4 Brief Fire. There's just nothing you can do. Naga Illusions, Treants, Mushi there, and Mushi even successfully getting that last hit. So, we are 4-5, we're 11 minutes into the game, guys, and we're swapping to net worth. Have a look at that, and yeah, the 3 cores of Mushi are just doing fine. But it's looking better than last game, though, because at least the DK is keeping up in farm. But we have to see what else is to come. The graphs will show us, yeah, 2k, 2.5k in experience at the moment for Team Mushi, and 5k, working on the 7.5k, even though it's a bit stagnating at the moment, but still, they are working towards that 7.5k. That is, of course, explained by having 3 towers already, including 1 tier 2, which was a very early one. But let's see, maybe Regal, they need towers. I mean, they need the tower gold.
They do need the tower gold.
Oh, but this wraparound, look at this.
Yeah, in comes WTF from the back as well as Mushi, and Mushi has himself a Blink Dagger. They're going to go straight onto Tamao. He will be the focus of this. With the Riptide, he'll be cleaned up easily by the Split Earth. And Wraith Ping picks up the kill there, which is probably the worst hero that Regal want to let get farmed. We all know the power of a Wraith King, or as I should be calling it, Skeleton King.
Yeah, but to be honest, I think that was the best decision for Regal. If they would have fought there, yeah, it was a horrible fight. This wraparound was just successful, but oh, the chrono is badly aimed now. The decay, it's a perfect setup for the enemy. Now they're coming in, and the decay is just directly under the tower. Tower aggro stuns so much, but the Stampede helping him for now. But Mushi with the next stun, he shall get him, unless there's a deny by Roshan. But who needs Roshan when you have the Crypt Swarm?
I would completely agree with you there. If the Chrono was positioned slightly differently and the DK could then attack, that would have been a dead Nature's Prophet. But off the back of that team fight, well, I think Void is a double agent at this point.
Yep, absolutely. And, well, we have to see what else is coming here. I mean, 3 kills ahead, and now,
they're going to look for Tamao again, the net, the ensnare, the long range, and that's going to be another kill cleaned up by Team Mushi. And now they're going to look for the tier 1. But Mushi doesn't want the tower, he wants the damn Witch Doctor, but KYXY will take the kill off of him, and he's on an unstoppable spree once again. Has there been a game so far today where we've not seen an unstoppable spree from at least one member of Team Mushi?
No, to be honest, the only thing we've not seen in this challenge so far is a rampage on any of the targets. Not even Ohio on his super farmed X managed that, but yeah. Like, when it comes to towers and, like, early game potential, it's just crazy. The execution the Team Mushi is doing here, that's the second tier 2 tower to fall. The only one left is that one in the mid, and we are looking again at a game where Regal is just caught off guard. It's just too early for them to make anything. And also, we were talking about the Void and his crucial role with the Chronosphere. But this Chronosphere, it was everything but optimal. It was very sub-optimal.
They need to get a good Chrono here. He's up in 18 seconds, but he's not going to be able to come back and defend the base. They throw some harassment onto Tamao, and now comes the Stampede. Can they find anything on the back? They're going to use the Stampede, then fall back. They're not going to continue. And they may have just wasted one of their biggest cooldowns here for defending the base. The tier 3 damage being cracked on, and CK hiding in his Sandstorm. He does have the Epi ready, but he does not have a Blink Dagger, not for 10 more gold. He needs to be very careful here. But Mushi going to go aggressive, look for boys. In comes CK with that Motorstrike, however. But in comes the Chrono. Catches 2, but CK equally is caught in that Chrono. But Song of the Siren's going to turn off all forms of aggression, breaks the momentum, and now we get the re-engage. It's a double stun coming out of WTF, and complete carnage going the way of Regal. This is not what they want at all, and GG is called. They cannot hold this anymore. A wicked sick from KYXY, and they're going to look to bring down Signa just to end this. And what a dominating performance coming out of Team Mushi.
They just accept the fact, like, the underdog potential is just not there. We didn't see it coming. As the 6th challenger, they also failed to claim the holy $500. That is really sad. So 6 teams, 3 from Philippines, 3 from Malaysia, none of them were successful. 50 minutes, 20 minutes and 50 minutes. That was probably the fastest series we played in those 6. Rumors say there's more to come, guys. If so, I will update you on our Facebook and Twitter. Of course, Moobot will always tell you. The VODs, as soon as I turn off the stream here, I'm gonna work on the VODs, guys. You can watch them, of course, on Facebook, I say. Yeah, sure, maybe even on Facebook. But no, on our YouTube, Moobot will also tell you that. Anyway, after all this, I want to say thank you to you, Plagueadder, to you, Coucher, casting with me. My name is HeflaTV. With me was now Mr. Plagueadder. Also, thanks to LDJ here from St. Deviant Stats. Amazing stats. We really had a lot of fun with you guys and looking forward to work more with you. Thanks to Mushi, of course, organizing this entire thing, inviting the teams. Thanks to Gigabyte, making it able, like, making it possible to get that $500 up as a reward for the challengers. Unfortunately, nobody claimed it, so good for Gigabyte, I guess. But there's more to come. Either way, so follow us if you like it, of course, on HeflaTV 1 and HeflaTV 2. You always see the best English coverage here for all the games we get our hands on. It was a ton of fun, and everything else will be then on the social media. So that's pretty much it. Last words, Plagueadder?
Well,
No.
good series of games, and I look forward to casting more, especially from these teams.
Yep. C Dota is always amazing Dota. It's the new aggression style. It's even more aggressive at the moment than the CIS Dota. And yep, I enjoyed it. I hope you viewers enjoyed it. I will be in the chat still to answer questions about whatever you want to ask, as usual. And yeah, in the meantime, some music. And that's it for now, for today. We will come back on HeflaTV 1 and HeflaTV 2. We have Gigabyte, we have Join Dota League, we have so many more games today to come. So it's just the end for this series, for this tournament. But there's more to come, guys. Always on HeflaTV. That's why it's always worth to follow or even subscribe and help us to build here something big. Either way, guys, that's it. See you soon in the chat.